Hey, welcome back to the Buck Junkie podcast. I about said how to barbecue right podcast.
No, you did.
Yeah, you started it.
It's a retake on that one. Now we're back here. We did miss last week, guys. We had a damn ice storm come through.
We'd have gone from ice last week to short sleeve today.
70 degrees yesterday.
Now it's back to nice.
Mississippi weather, baby.
Yeah.
Getting my truck cleaned up today. All that hunting season. Mud.
It's going to rain day after tomorrow.
My truck's so nasty, y'all. I'm
Man.
putting a dog in the back, and she just gets in there and I got to put her in a box.
Don't look at my truck then.
That's one of my rules. Is like all hunting season, I do not clean the truck.
I don't
I
either.
don't wash it, and I don't clean the inside of it because it's just pointless. Because by the time you get in from duck hunting and you done got wet, or you got mud on your boots, it's just you're fighting a losing.
I can handle the outside being dirty. My inside, if it gets to a point, I don't care. I got to clean it. I can't do nasty dash and seats and stuff. I got to.
See, I messed up because I had my boots on when I was helping Michael get that last deer, and I threw them in the back seat. Of course, they had blood all on them, didn't think nothing about it. Well, all last week, we wasn't in my truck. I drove Emily's Jeep everywhere. It's been sitting out there. Man, I got in it yesterday.
It was right.
Them boots had to come on out. It was a little loud.
Then we went through the car wash the other day and washing mine, and it was duck feathers like blowing out of the back of the truck from where we would clean them ducks on the tailgate.
I hate to see it.
I know the guy behind me hates me.
It'll wreck a car.
Oh yeah, them duck feathers are sticking on that wet windshield.
I do it now. Sometimes I do have to stop at just the coin-operated car wash and spray off the mud and crap because I hate riding around getting in and out. I get it just
You get
dirty
muddy getting in and out.
Yeah. Oh, it'll mess your britches legs up.
Oh yeah.
Hopping out.
No, it gets to the point you're tracking stuff out. That's when you
Yeah,
definitely got to clean it.
Mine wasn't so much trash as it's just dirt and
Dirt.
mud.
That old sand down there in the turn roads.
Yeah.
That gravel Miles got is like,
Yeah.
It's
Gets
got
it's
clay
got so
or
much
something
clay
in
or
it,
something
yeah.
in it. Man, it gets on everything.
It's all right. That's what trucks are meant for, though. You just get them cleaned up, ready for spring.
Get you some good.
Take the lady to dinner one time, and then we're good to go get it dirty again.
Yeah, we don't go out in my truck in the wintertime.
No,
We go in Melissa's truck.
that's it. You got to have two vehicles for winter
Yeah.
time. It's
Why don't we always take mine?
I guess I'm spoiled. I don't know how I got by with a regular cab truck for all them years. I mean,
What if we-
I need a
wait-
6-door
I
now.
was thinking about that. My son's
boxes.
getting,
Yeah.
your son's, old enough. You got Abby's driving. Michael's going to be there pretty soon. I started thinking about getting him a vehicle. I was like, man, my first vehicle was a single cab.
Mine
We had
too.
something to drive. We didn't have. We used to throw stuff in the back. I mean, now I could not imagine going back to a single cab as much crap as we haul around.
Michael rode in the back of my truck one time, and I still got articles of clothing of his in the back seat of my truck. So Michael ain't going to survive in a single
There's
cab.
no way. Yeah.
I done stepped it up to Peepaw edition. I done put a topper on mine. So I mean,
Yeah, went
I'm full grandpa
full
now.
papaw.
Yeah.
My papa had a Dodge Ram, an old Dodge Ram. He had a topper on it. He put a bed in it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Me and Waylon loved going on trips with him. We get in the back. It's back when you let kids just ride.
You're
the
right.
bed.
No seatbelt.
Did it have the pedestal where it came up and you could convert it into like a table or a couch?
No,
or
it was
something?
just like
That's
a
what my
homemade. It
granddaddy
was
had.
like a homemade frame, like you built for
Yeah.
a trailer, just a wood frame with a mattress in there. But you could lay up in there and had those crank out windows on the side. Oh, you get the airflow rolling. No seat belts. You just
Yeah.
throw it around. It was probably dangerous as hell.
Oh,
My papa got to where he couldn't drive at all. Like
Y'all was
he
in
was
the
just
back.
hitting stuff. We'd be in the back. It was either that or sit in between Granny and Papa. Was a single cab truck. So Bill Whalen just said, "We're going to the back."
Let us be.
Hell yeah, let's go road trip.
I can't say nothing. I had camper tops pulled up on my computer yesterday.
Oh, you looking for one
I
too?
might be finna put one on mine.
I like mine. I mean, it is a couple times like I'd like for it to be off, but majority of the time I do like it being on there.
I throw too much crap in. I mean, I don't know. It's
But that's you said you throw too much
what if
crap.
you're hooking up? Say, what if you got to hook up fifth wheel or you?
That's the
gotta-
only. That's
I
when I
got-
come use your truck or Mark's
Oh,
truck.
you borrow somebody else.
Well, I
Nah.
got the winch in my garage. It'll
Yeah.
pull it off just like we pull the Jeep top off. So
It's just it unbolts real fast.
yeah,
pull it up.
if you got somebody getting it up, I mean, 15 minutes you can have it off.
I guess that's an option. I do like those organizer systems I've seen for them now, where it's like this drawer pull out. You can put your guns in there, your gear in there, your
That
tools
deck
in
system
there.
ought to go to the
Have you
floor.
got one on yours?
I have overhead when Michael Lehman had the one in the bed, and he loved it. It worked.
Some of them are like safes. Like
Yeah.
you can lock your guns and stuff up. I mean,
see, I ain't that mad at a fifth wheel or gooseneck. Everybody talks about, oh, you ever pull one, you'll never go back. Man, darn that rough riding thing.
really.
Give me a bumper pull. I ain't scared.
Yeah.
Like,
I guess that's one thing.
well,
Well,
Yeah.
Can't pull your tractor though.
you get a big enough bumper pull, you can.
You have to get a big one.
so last week we talked about tracking deer and the techniques we use on bad shots, why they happen, and things like that. We kind of went over some of that stuff a little bit last week and give some reasons why, we made those bad shots and what we do to try to recover those deer, which we actually probably been 2 weeks ago. So
Yeah.
we're a little late, but we had some pretty good theories on, how to track deer and things like that. Not sure if it's, it's the way we've been successful doing it.
I've never had any professional training. Have you?
No, I've never had no professional training.
But I've looked for a lot of daggum deer.
Look for enough of them and understand them. That's the main thing. Like we said, you make a bad shot on a deer. The main thing is just watch it all the way to the woods and try to see how that animal acts and
don't push it.
Don't push it.
Mark your blood when you find it.
Call for backup.
Get a good light. Well, so if you was going to tell somebody what kind of light they needed to get for looking for tracking deer, what would you go by? What are you carrying?
I mean, I used to have a rechargeable spotlight, but the bad thing with some of those is that once you cut it up on that high beam, it ain't lasting real long. Yep. And when they go out, they go out. Like it'll drop down to that next setting, and you got about 30 seconds of light before it just is gone.
We all pretty much carry the headlamps just for getting in out of the stand, and they do pretty good. But I keep a DeWalt just 20-volt cordless flashlight.
That Milwaukee's
also got theirs. Are pretty impressive.
I bought some of those last year because I had the Milwaukee tools. But I tell you, one that I probably use more than any is just the mag light.
Old school mag light.
Yeah, but I keep one in my truck. It's got the big D batteries in it. I think they're C batteries now. I used to have one with D's, like the police light. Man, those lights. I know they ain't the most lightweight thing, but if you need some light that lasts a long time, they last a pretty long time.
I used to all you could get was mag lights. It was anything that was decent. Yeah. Well, now, you go to Walmart, spend $20 and get an LED flashlight that's as bright as anything.
I've got some of those old throwaway and the side by sides. I usually keep a couple of those, but they just don't last.
You remember the old plastic ones that the old button was so hard to push,
Well, it was Rayovac or something like that. Yeah, a black one. That's what my dad had.
It was Rayovacs, and then they had that big square, and it took that big square battery.
The lantern.
Yeah. And you could ash it. And then all you had was pretty much mag lights and stuff like that.
Was it me and you? I think it was me and you was hunting with Hunter one evening up there behind the church. We was tracking that deer. That I think come out in the field and you shot at it and he ended up killing it or something.
Yeah.
Me and Mikey was looking at blood or doing something, and I heard, and I'm like, what is that noise? Hunter was over here with them old shake lights that you shake it to charge it, and he'd hold it and it'd go, and he'd shake it some more.
No.
I was like, dadgum, you got to get you a better light than that.
That's what, Jamie, you need to get some of those square lanterns for the Papaw camper.
Yeah.
That's what my Papaw had.
Take the old 6-volt battery.
With the old push rubber button on it. Heck yeah. They still sell those?
Yeah,
probably. I'm sure they do.
That's old school.
But lights have come a long way.
Yeah.
I mean, a long way.
Oh, they've got some of these million lumens thing. Have y'all seen some of those?
You get on Amazon and spend $500 on flashlights.
Oh, yeah. Police helicopter ain't got nothing on them. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah. I saw some of them was $500 for a light.
We had one in the city that was $250 for that flashlight. It was a recharged one. It didn't plug in like your cell phone. You plugged it in the back. You didn't have to take the batteries out of it. And it was like a full-blown spotlight. And it had settings, where you could drop it back down. And I don't know that I run that thing out, but maybe twice.
Really? That was my problem with most of those recharge ones. They just don't last.
Yeah.
I tell you, that Milwaukee, you put the big battery on it, you can track for days.
It's going. Them Milwaukee got the battery on lockdown.
They're not heavy neither. Yeah.
Well, I keep a small light in my bag. That way, if you do shoot, you can go out there, mark the blood, find it, and then you say, "Hey, go bring me go bring the big light that's going to stay charged." And that's what we done that weekend. So it works out.
Yeah, it's good to have a small flashlight in your jacket or your hunting vest or something like that. Just a little one that ain't in your way, just so when you get down, you can look at it. But
I'm keeping some tissue too, or toilet paper or something where I can mark. Like if we find blood, that's helped me more than anything.
Hang on now. You start marking with toilet paper, I don't know if I'll go over and track.
Yeah.
I get it confused.
You don't look at the ones on the ground. You go for the toilet paper in the tree.
You can see it, though. Yeah. I mean, when you're going through woods or you lose a trail or you're doubling back or whatever and you find those paper trails, even like y'all did Michael's deer, you went back and marked it. I mean, you can go back and find the light for something about it. When you shine a light across or you're in the woods, you can see that.
There was a guy that was, I think it was on TikTok. They had a deal about tracking a deer, and he had those little glow-in-the-dark glow sticks. He keeps 2 or 3 in his backpack.
That's a good idea.
And just goes out there and pops it and drops it, and it'll stay glowing several hours.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, with something like that, you know, where you can look back and see, you can kind of figure out
where they're
sometimes
going.
like
the direction,
the
line
direction it's going. Get on the line, because at first it's probably don't know where it's really going. It's just getting away as fast as it can, and it gets in there, gets its bearings back, and it starts. All right, I need to go back to the left. You know, there's thicket over here, a pond, a ditch, or so you can kind of see because they will change directions. I mean, I've seen them turn all the way around, and go the other way.
Heck, the one you shot in the sage grass. I mean, it made a circle.
And I get turned around easy. Like if I'm in the woods and it gets thick and you're looking for blood, you're not looking up.
No, you're constantly
seeing where you're
down.
going. You're constantly walking down. You get off in there sometimes, and you can lose the line of trail.
Right, you can.
From where you came from, easy.
Yeah, because it's easy to walk over terrain that's unlevel and, little hills or stuff like that and lose where you're at. You don't really know what's going on. But those things do help. I ain't never thought about the little shake-up.
And then we also talked about using dog. That's kind of what we've been working with. I mean,
so you and Mark and Jamie have been working with y'all's dogs, trying to teach them to do some of that, but also shed hunt at the same time. So
that's the next thing. Sheds.
I'm ready. I might have to go peek down there this weekend.
So I've been following at Facebook. Man, them guys, it still blows my mind about finding like a 6-foot moose. So, I mean, it seems like me just be very, very obvious to
I don't
find.
know how you train a dog to find a moose shed. It ain't bringing it back.
Or whatever. It was a guy that I can't remember if it was elk or moose, but 1/2 was 60 pounds. What he said it weighed. Now, whether it's true or not, I don't know. But that's a heck of a shed.
I think some of that stuff's big.
I'm ready for it. I don't think they're dropping down there in our place yet. But.
So, Jamie, me and you were talking about earlier this morning. We saw an interesting thing. I want to say it was on TikTok where I saw it.
Yeah, I think it was.
It was talking about with the Auburn University doing a study. They've got an enclosed.
Yes, a high fence, and we didn't talk about that. I can't remember if it was 2,000 acres. It was several hundred or a few thousand acres. They had high fence that was for this study, but
they knew how many bucks, like rack bucks, they had in the enclosure, and so they were doing a study on what the percentage of recovery of the sheds that they can actually find. And so, what would y'all guess?
How many acres was it?
I think it was several. It was a couple thousand, maybe.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Maybe 2,000. If I remember. I mean, I might be totally wrong. It might have been 400, but I'm thinking it was around.
But it was all fenced. They knew the bucks. They had cameras on all of it. They knew when they were going to drop, and then they brought in these students. And there was a couple hundred people going to look for them. What percentage of sheds do you think they found out of the known bucks they had? If you had to guess.
If I had to guess, 25%.
They was like 31 or something like that, which 30s. I thought was crazy. I was expecting them to be
at least 50.
I was thinking 75, 80. Why not? It's enclosed. You know where the deer, live. I mean, why? And you combing it. I would have thought they'd have found a lot more. What do you think happens to them?
Animal critters.
Squirrels.
Yeah.
No, they was looking for them quick enough. There's not very likely a squirrel or a mouse would have chewed one up. It might have nibbled on it, but it wouldn't have chewed one up. And it was like a month after all of them had dropped off camera.
I mean, unless they dropped in some place that they just really couldn't get to, I mean, if you think about it, if their horns are kind of loose, like that big ditch on the farm down there, either one of them, if they went down in that and hit that bottom and it jarred them and they fell off down in that, we'd never find
washed, it's gone.
Yeah, I didn't think about that. But you're right. It was a low percentage of what they actually recover. So if you think you've got, just say we know we probably have, a dozen bucks that live between our properties that we've seen and on camera regular seen hunting that have racks we'd like to recover, we'll be lucky to get 3 of them.
Yeah.
And that's what they were saying, a mainframe 8-point with a whole lot. The bigger deer were easier to find than the smaller deer. He said, don't go out there and start. He said, look and focus on the bigger ones, don't just try to find a horn. But
yeah, because, I stepped on some in the 4-wheeler trail. We didn't run over the horn 3 or 4 times on the 4-wheeler, and it was mashed down in the mud. And, it was a little old fork horn. It'd been laying there. We done rode all over the top of it.
Well, that's the one I found last year. I guess it was. And I know good and well we done rode by that thing 1,000,000 times on side by side and hadn't seen it. And the sunlight just happened to be beaming on it the day I come out. But
well, last year I would have told you we found I would have guessed we found 60, 70% of them because it seemed like we did.
We found a lot.
First year we really looked, but we found a lot.
Well, we probably found, I got a picture, I have to look back. It was, we found probably 6 or 8 whole sets, left and rights. And I don't know how many singles we found, but
I've never found a set. I found single. I've never found a set.
Man, I get like a kid in a candy store. I was hollering across that field. I'm like, I got both of them.
Well, the times we found those, they weren't in weird locations.
No.
They're right off the edge of a plot. I mean,
yeah, because man, you found one of the sets. One was laying dead out in the middle of the field. We pulled over there, stopped, picked it up, and then raised up and turned around and looked, and the other one was 30 yards. It was right over there.
Yeah.
The couple of sets we found in the pines was I was just happened to found a good deer trail, and I was just walking it because the pines are so thick. That was the easiest thing to walk, and it'd be one here and then 10 yards. The other one was up there, like just walking down the trail, and it just bloop, fall off.
That one big set I found, he was laying in the bed up on top of that steep ridge right behind the mark plot stand, and both of them were just laying there. They just.
So I wonder where majority sheds drop. You think they're in bedding areas? Probably. They spend more time I think they spend more time laying down, and when they're not doing that, they're eating. So that's probably your two big locations.
I just want to find it 6 point. That's my goal.
What's your goal?
I want goalposts. I want to find
that big
Ricky.
I want
cool
that
Ricky. That big ugly thing.
Ricky retardo. I do want to see. I hope that deer makes it to next year.
His horn's
lame. He's got a busted leg.
But there's nothing visually wrong with it. But he
made it all.
Out of 100 pictures, he never has a left leg on the ground.
And no one ever saw him.
No.
For him to stay in that same area, like when we had him on camera, he was always between those two cameras in that area.
Nobody's
had to be living in the kudzu ditch somewhere, probably.
We had one picture of him in daylight. That was he was on pond stand.
But his horns like growing backwards. It's crazy.
Oh, they're all curled too, like they're melting on the end.
Yeah, it's like, what do you think? They're probably 16 inches tall.
Probably.
At least.
So, yeah.
I mean, I think that's a 3-year-old buck. He just got hurt last year.
Yeah, he's an older deer because you can tell his body's filled out and he's pretty strong looking deer.
Yeah, he's fairly healthy except for that one leg. He won't put any weight on it. He just holds it up.
I was watching on that trail camera thing. A guy had a deer and it reminded me of that, and his hoof was like really, really fat. Yeah. And all the trail cam pictures this guy had, that deer never put his foot on the ground. But I done zoomed in. I can't visually see nothing wrong with that one.
He may have just stubbed his toe. I mean, he's probably all right. He looked healthy.
He's like standing on 3 legs.
He might be like the pinky up buck. He might be highfalutin.
Half flamingo.
Yeah,
that's why he stands.
Well, who's on the board? Since we're wrapping up the year, we're done deer hunting.
Done duck hunting.
Done duck hunting. What we got?
Fishing. Jamie's on the boat. How about that? What about the board? Y'all want to talk about?
Oh yeah.
Is that the biggest catfish you ever caught in your life?
Yeah, other than net commercial.
On a rod and reel.
Yeah.
Tell us about
32 pounds, I guess.
33. You keep saying 32. David wants to make sure it's 33.
33.
Get that pound right.
Captain Dave, what's his
Cat and Round Guide Service.
Cat and Round Guide Service on the Mississippi. He's been fishing the Mississippi River for a long time.
So
he knows it too.
I'll start it off. We got this for Daddy for Christmas, I guess,
two years ago, and then COVID, and
we just never got around to making it happen. And we finally got the dates put together, and I was excited because you hear a lot of stories about the Mississippi River. Because it's a big river, and it was pretty neat to go down there and see that firsthand. And the boat he's got is unreal. It's a 26 foot Sea Ark.
Yep,
and it's
built like it's a freaking tank on water. It's a man.
But
one of them big trees hit it. It's not gonna phase it.
No. We did see what was that? A big cedar tree?
No, that was just a log, like a 20-foot log. I guess a barge had hit.
And you've seen every prop where it cut.
And it had cut the whole length. Probably.
It looked like you went down there with a hatchet every time that blade would come around on a prop. But anyways, we put in at Tunica and ended up doing 52 miles on the river.
Yeah, I lost that bet. He asked us on the way back how many miles you think we've been one way, and I'm like 8. Mark's like 12. My dad's like, I don't know. Man, he pulled up and it was like 36, 38, and we still hadn't made it back to the truck yet. And I'm like, man, there's no way we went 50-something miles today.
But
don't seem like it.
No,
it went quick. And the day, we were on the river for 8 hours, but it didn't feel like it. And he asked us when we got there, he's like, y'all want to catch a bunch of fish or you want to catch big fish? We said catch big fish. And so we were really
bunch of big fish.
Yeah, a bunch of big fish
would have been great. But he did. He's got pretty good setup, and we'd go check holes, and he'd be like, all right, it's a good one in this hole. You could see it on the screen or whatever, and we'd fish that hole and bump around for a minute and move to the next one. And we caught 2 8 or 10 pounders, and then the last hole, and he told us, he's like, you can tell when they hit it. He said they'll bump it a few times, and he says, I ain't worried about it. He ain't a big fish. This one didn't bump it. It tugged on it one time, and that was it. He was on.
He went.
So what kind of rods are y'all fishing with?
They're all, but B&M, I think they
B&M.
use. I don't remember what reel it was, but B&M's who was using all his poles, and it was
like a 6'6" or 7 foot.
I don't think they're that.
Wasn't even that long.
No, I don't think
No,
so.
they're 6 foot.
Yeah, they're not a 7 foot or real long one. No.
But I mean, they're
Stout.
yeah. 1 inch around. I mean, it's a
You ain't gonna break one.
heck no.
And we're probably fishing. You probably got, I'd say average. What was it? 80 foot of line out, probably
80 to 100.
just on average.
And I didn't realize the river was that deep. You'd be 10 foot off shore, and it'd be 100 foot down to the bottom. I mean, it's just like it drops off quick.
That's what scares me about that river is that river has so many bodies and cars and different things that's been thrown in there, that's been hid, that's never surfaced back up.
That is,
especially with them casinos down there.
that's the cleanest river as far as in the bottom. There's no brush. There's nothing to get hung up on. I mean, he turns that sonar on, and it's clean as this table.
Yeah, unless you get behind one of them rock
Dikes,
dikes or whatever, it's no debris on the bottom.
nothing.
Of the river.
It's crystal clean. But
I mean, I'm not saying it ain't something down there, but
You can't see it on the screen.
you can't see it on screen. But you can see them catfish buried in that mud on that screen.
Really?
I mean, he could literally tell, like, hey, that's a carp or that's a spoonbill. I mean, he could hit the button, zoom in. You can see the eyes on the spoonbill. I mean,
It's pretty neat.
Yeah.
But we
What was the deepest you saw?
130
something.
Yeah, 130, 140.
Is that out in the channel or in a hole?
The channel ain't even the deep part. That's what's crazy. You get behind them dikes, that's where the holes are.
Yeah, where the water comes back,
circles over
washes
and-
down.
And you can see it just plain as day how it works.
Yeah.
And
That's where the fish sit. They because they're steady filtering what's coming through there.
I guess the funniest thing for me is, we're used to fishing with, 2 ounce weights?
Yeah,
4 ounce
at the
weight.
most, yeah.
We were throwing
2 pounds.
2 pound
That's
weights.
from the walleye winners.
Yeah, it was. You stuff them with that. I think the one weight was, I think he said it was 48 ounces. He had a 48.
I don't remember what we was
32.
fishing with.
Dang.
I know he said he had
4 pounds of weight.
They're,
had 'em
they're
up.
almost as big as that coffee cup.
He had them up to 4 pound weights.
I mean, they're huge. And you go out there and throw
There
it.
ain't no drift on those. It's
No,
just
they
sitting
lock
there.
again.
Yeah.
What do you just drop them over the edge of the boat? I know you ain't casting.
He's
that thing.
casting them.
No,
Is
the ones that
The
would
2
probably
pound weights, yeah.
Oh, he ain't.
they probably pound
How
half
far is
2
he
pounds.
throwing?
of
100
casting.
Is
yards?
He can.
He
He usually run
my
too
granddaddy'd
tight.
have loved them
Oh
weights.
man, he could have thrown clear across the lake.
I mean, it was.
Yeah.
I mean, they're the ball weights. They're probably that big around.
Yeah, it's a baby cannonball.
Yeah.
He throws 2,
What
usually
kind of line was he have tied on it?
80.
Yeah, I think he's
Or
running.
no, the line was 100. The leader was 80.
leaders. Yeah, the 80. And it's
He wants the leader to break before his line does.
Yeah.
No, David's if you're interested in doing riverboat fishing like that, he's
Very
jam
knowledgeable.
up first place. I mean, I think it's him and one other guy in the state of Mississippi that fishes the river like that tag the fish. That was pretty neat watching him tag them.
So
How far do you have one?
450 something?
Yeah, 400 something miles was the furthest he's had one recorded that traveled, and that's what I asked him. I'm still thinking about deer hunting. Like, hey, you catch this 50-pound fish in this hole, you gonna be able to come back next week and catch the same fish? And he's like, yes and no. He's had them from one year to the next. I had exact same fish, exact same tag, exact same hole, and he said it had them all the way to 400 miles travel.
Yeah, I mean, I can see them migrating up down that river. I mean, I'm sure it depends on water depth and current and bait and and all that different stuff like that. So they got to move around. I mean, there's been reports of bull sharks, being as far up as Illinois.
Yeah,
I mean, they came from the ocean all the way up that river. So
Burping a catfish. Never heard of
so
it.
yeah.
What is that?
So it's just like you, I guess, like a diver
it's
going down.
Because you're pulling them from 100 foot
Yeah.
down.
So
It's like deep sea fishing.
I mean,
when the
that-
bladder
You
comes
poke that
out.
bladder. You got to poke the bladder so they'll survive. Does he do that?
He's got a PVC pipe that he
Got
can
a
push in
hole.
their throat that'll let them burp.
He said, lesson learned. When you do that, point the pipe away from you. He said, because this funk smell coming out that pipe.
I'm sitting there videoing Jamie with his fish. He's
Is he
holding it.
patting them on the back?
No.
Most time the big ones will burp themselves.
I mean, when it come up, I sound like I had me a dang hog and my thing. I mean, that sounds like a
I
man.
talked
grunt.
to me. I didn't know it was burping though.
Yeah, that's what
No,
it is.
that's not what.
They
These
make
are.
that noise,
This one
but-
sounded like the fish crap. I mean, it sounded like somebody farting.
Oh,
I mean, it was like legit.
air.
Yeah, it was. It didn't sound like the catfish how they roar, roar, roar.
Yeah.
No,
Oh,
this dude's
yeah.
burping.
Yeah, that's like I swear it sounded like I had a hog in my lap.
Well, when you go snapper fishing, you pull them up from way
Yeah.
down the bottom. They got to for them to live. If it's not big enough to keep, they have to poke.
I mean, David said he's caught, I think it was 50 or 70 pound one. I think it's 50 something pound. He said he David he respects the fish a lot. I mean, he could have just threw it outside the boat and oh well, but no, he kept it in the boat, put it in the live well, and let the fish get back to normal. He said it took about an hour probably, and put it outside the boat. And he said you can tell if they're not burped, it'll float up like it's almost dead. But then he said after about an hour that's ready to go.
Huh. That's interesting.
Yep.
So he's doing that because he wants to catch them again. It's like he's not catching these to eat.
No.
Yeah, I'm sure he's got some kind of they're doing some kind of research, I'm sure, on the fish because I mean that's a way of making a living for him too. So
I mean, he got the weight, length, the whole 9 yards on his fish. Like you would score a deer, he pretty much scored the fish that way.
What was your fish? 40 inches long?
I can't remember.
I think it was.
I can't remember.
40 inches and 33 pounds. It's a big fish.
Did he weigh the smaller ones or did he just the big ones?
Just the big ones. The smaller ones are like 8 or 10 pounds. I mean, they're big fish to me.
On rod and reel, that's pretty good sized fish.
And you think if we tag deer like that, like if there was a way for us to, not kill it and ear tag it or something, and had our name and phone number on it and
see where it goes.
See where somebody finally killed it 2 or 3 years later, where it wound up at. Did it stay on the property? Did it leave?
We would tag it on a Friday afternoon and somebody shoot it Saturday morning.
Oh, heck yeah. They ain't making it.
Let me call them the next day. We got 3.
If you knew they was going to make it, no.
But no, I highly recommend it. Y'all are going this Friday?
This Friday, we're going.
Friday.
Big Dramamine up.
It's not that bad
the river's not bad.
So David's got
when you get behind a barge or you got barge traffic, that's the only time it gets rocky.
See that new boat?
We never felt it.
Like I say, we would be and hit the trolling motor's y'all GPS too. That trolling motor would hold that boat
exactly
in the same spot for an hour and a half, 2 hours, and never miss a beat.
Motor.
Huh?
That's style trolling.
And it don't make no noise. I mean, it's super, super, super quiet.
125-pound thrust or 126-pound thrust, and it's stout.
Holding 4 men over 200-pound well.
Yeah, in a 26-foot boat.
In current, in the river.
Yeah.
And like I said, barge never affected it. Now,
the wind would mess with it more than anything.
Yeah, and it was pretty windy the other day, first thing. And David's, like I say, he stepped up his game on this boat. It's a full soft-top enclosure. I mean, we never.
It was 40 degrees when we was in the water, and it was 70 in that.
Yeah, you could sit inside that canopy, and you never got cold. You had the wind. It was.
But when the canopy's still cold and he just put it on, the clear vinyl is real ripply. I had to get out.
Yeah, Mark was on the back deck for a minute.
I never felt sick. But I was like, man, you feel your temples.
Yeah.
And I was like, nope.
Mine, my whole forehead gets a sweating. That's the first thing. And then I get clammy, and I'm like, uh-oh. And then it goes in your guts.
So I never get that, but when we deep sea fishing, you feel that old tart with your jaw locking up like you ate something sour, it's supposed to get bad.
No, y'all have a good time. I told him though that y'all can't catch bigger fish than we did. I paid him a little extra. Said, look, just take them these little 10-pound holes. Don't let them outdo us.
I want the ones you can fry. We need something.
I want something to bring home.
Yeah, the 4 to 6 pounders.
You can get it.
Get a cooler full of.
You don't even know they're on the reel though. Them reels are.
Yeah, you wait.
Yeah, you don't even know there's little fishes on there. And really, that 30-pound fish wasn't. I mean, it fought.
Yeah, but it's putting out. I was spinning my line wasn't going nowhere, but
it might have been. Was that the weight?
Yeah,
might have been
stuck in the mud.
But
that's the only thing we're on board with.
Yeah, Mikey tried to get Waylon deer the last weekend, but
man, I tried. We got the dove field planted in wheat, so that's been a pretty hot spot for the does coming in there. Not a lot of bucks, but they've been coming in there pretty regular every evening. And Waylon hadn't, he hadn't shot a doe yet, so we went up there and I wheeled the side by side around in the sage grass. We didn't get in the stand, so we just wheeled the side by side around in the grass and hit it. And sure enough, about right at dark, here come a great. I mean.
Was y'all standing there drinking beer the whole time?
I was drinking beer. He was watching.
That might have been why he wasn't shooting straight.
I might should have given him a few beers.
Calm him down.
I don't know what he drank before we got out there. He might have had a few. But yeah. Anyways, big doe come out. And she was the contest winner. Man, she was a big one.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah. I told him, I was like, that's a mule there, boy. I was like,
oh, you pumped him up. You should have never said
I should have said nothing. Just
man, that's a little one. You sure you want to shoot it?
He waxed it then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got him nervous on an old doe.
I thought he'd hit it, but he didn't. He shot and it ran off. We tried to track it and we didn't see nothing. We went all the way down to the fence, the bottom of the hill, and no blood. So, anyways, I hate he ended the season like that with a miss, but
it happens.
So me and Waylon both are strikeouts.
3 years running.
Deer.
I'm two.
That's right. The year I almost died, you killed a buck. I forgot.
Waylon hadn't killed one in 3 years, I don't think.
He ain't killed one since first year. There was
the 9 Point was the last deer he shot.
And that was the first year that property we hunted at.
Very first.
Mm-hmm.
So that was kind of our end of our season accomplishment, was try to get, enough does killed off, or the people that hadn't killed does, get them, or a buck, whatever, get them a deer. And
so you tally them up. What do we set on for the season?
So we wound up with 12 does between the two farms and 2 bucks.
Pretty good year.
Ain't bad.
Yep.
Was it 6 does off each place, probably, or
pretty close to it? I think so.
I think we may have got one more.
Maybe one more on plantation than we did over on the other place. So
that's
not a bad year.
Not a bad year at all.
Still managed the dough.
You got a freezer full of meat.
Yep.
Some of you do. I'm second guessing. I should have kept my fish the other day.
You should have. You might have needed.
You could have made it to July on
needed that blue cat.
We'll just let you catch the fish, Jamie. We'll supply you a deer.
Yeah, we'll do some swapping. Go catch some crappie and some catfish. I don't want none of them blue cats, though. I want flatheads.
I like white cats.
I know white cats, man. That's
what we caught
as
the
long
other
as
day.
they're not big.
Is that big one?
No, the two me and Daddy killed were white cats. They're pretty.
Yeah, I ain't much on them blue cats. White cats, I'll eat them up to about 10 pounds, 12 maybe.
I'll eat catfish. I don't care.
But so what was y'all's favorite hunt this year? What was your best hunt? Kill or no kill?
Well, mine was when I saw that. I had some good ones though. But the day I went by myself and Mark came, I shot that buckler that evening. It was full blown rut. Bucks were chasing. I don't know how many different bucks I saw that day. Saw the biggest deer I'd ever seen on the property. Didn't get to shoot him. He got away from me. And then shot that one that evening and shot a coyote. So that and I did it all like nobody was down there and had nobody to text. Well, I was kind of texting.
You texting me. I was rushing trying to hurry and get down there.
Yeah. But that was the best day I had.
We got set up on that deal.
Yeah.
What were y'all doing?
Y'all had
us here.
Company cooking competition that we had to go to.
Y'all had the that was the dessert one.
That's the difference in the owner of the company and the peons of the company.
That dessert contest was completely optional during rut. Pretty much anything's optional during rut. There's no excuses.
I'm taking notes.
Yeah, next year.
Actually, no, I'm gonna schedule 2 or 3 contests next year. I'll slip back down.
All early December.
It's a note to myself. Yeah, we gotta have a lot of stuff going on.
I need that clipped out of this podcast. And sent an email to me.
But what was y'all's?
I don't know. I had 2 really. The one I was in plantation and Mikey. Me and Mikey down there. Mikey shot a coyote and come over and I killed it and I watched a couple of does, coyotes, and turkeys that morning, and then actually my wife went that one weekend, and we seen several deer, and that's a pretty good day.
I don't know. Mine's probably gonna be when Jay come down, hunted, shot that doe, just because it's laid back. We're there to have a good time. We eat good that weekend.
Hey, dang good.
And it's to me, I enjoy just sitting in the stand, and Jay and them, like, he don't get that many opportunities to shoot does up there in Indiana, so it's neat to see him get just as excited for a doe as what we would, or a buck or anything like that. And it was a good hunt for sure. Either that or the last weekend we done all doe shooting. That was
a good one.
When you belly crawled up and shot one. That happened so fast you don't get to enjoy it.
No, that was quick.
That was a good one too. I guess mine it had to have been opening day. I know it was opening day. Just getting hunting set with Will. I don't get to sit with him much. He's 17 years old now, so
yeah.
Second place to him now.
Yeah. So second, sitting with him that morning. I mean, it was a great opening morning we had this year. I mean, it was probably one of the best ones we've ever had. Frosted. It was really cold that morning. Man, it was a great morning. Bucks are moving around. I don't know how many bucks we seen. Does. We didn't kill a deer, but he killed a bobcat that morning. But just sitting up there hawing around with him and talking and picking and messing with one another the whole morning and just. I don't know. There ain't many of those left that I'll get to do with
that's true.
And we said it a bunch of times. It's not we don't do this because we just want to kill something. I mean, like I say, I hunted my dad more this year than I probably ever had, and I have in the past several years. And we've done the handicap hunt, physical challenge hunt, and man, I get all that stuff there. I got more out of than me physically pulling the trigger.
Yeah,
Have you ever hunted in the stand with your dad?
No. Never.
You, Mark?
I mean, when I was like
when I
a
was
kid,
yeah.
like 7, 8 years old, maybe.
Been a long time ago.
Yeah. I was going to say, I had a blast that last sit we had in truck stand. I don't know how we seen deer, because we was like 2 high school girls up there giggling the whole time, laughing. But it was an entertaining hunt, that's for sure.
I like hunting with somebody. It's fun to me.
Yeah. It's a lot more fun when you got somebody there to
I had some good ones with Michael, man. I saw more turkey, and I saw 23 bearded turkeys.
Long beards,
one hunt. And I'm talking about right on me, on top of me. I've never seen that before in my life.
It's hard.
I've had them roost on.
Cut that out too. Don't let that word get out.
And I had, I don't know how many hens I had surround me, multiple times this year. It's incredible, the turkey population we saw. Now they'll be gone come spring, I'm sure, but
it went by quick.
Yeah,
it went by real quick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like it don't seem like
3 months.
Yeah, not at all.
Heck, I spent 2 weekends on Fig Challenge hunt. I hunted with my dad. I've been rabbit hunting a couple times. I didn't
squirrel hunt.
Yeah, we done squirrel hunts.
That was awesome.
I really, in all honesty, didn't do a ton of deer hunting this year, but
we had a good squirrel hunt.
I enjoyed deer. Like I went through a phase where growing up, all we done was deer hunting, and then when I got into duck hunting, that was it took over. That was fun, And now I ain't mad at them ducks. It ain't.
Man, they taste good though.
They taste good, but if you told me we're gonna go duck hunting, deer hunting tomorrow morning, I'm going deer hunting.
See, it depends. Like I know we can go deer hunting. You may not see trophy bucks every time you go, but you're gonna see deer every time you go.
Mississippi, you may not see a duck.
Ducks. There ain't no ducks.
Yeah.
I mean, if you do see them, they ain't coming to you. They're just sky high. We might kill a few, and we had a decent duck season. It wasn't good, but we did shoot. I probably shot. I don't know about y'all.
I had more fun on a little wood duck hunt than I did.
That was probably our best duck hunt right there.
Yeah.
That was more fun that day than any duck hunting I went on this year.
Yeah. I don't know, that day Waylon was shooting them. That was pretty fun that morning.
Y'all were getting a kick out of it, and I was working hard to get them things down.
That was a pretty good morning. We had a few, but hey, there's nothing like hunting season.
No.
You got stories. One of my favorite stories, you talk about Waylon, I thought you finna talk about when he spit his teeth out.
He's never going to, that story.
Never live that story down.
Oh, he was in the stand this year when we were, it was when Jay was down, and he stood up, boy, he broke loose. And he was, and it sounded so awful. And I was like, "Do you need some paper?" He said, I think I might. And so we were scratching around. I think Malcolm had a lunch sack, and I had one that had a napkin in it. We gave him 2 napkins.
You better hit the bushes.
And he was
y'all duck hunting, deer hunting?
Duck hunting.
Oh.
And he was fast walking in and waiting, trying to get down that levee.
He was, because that's when me and Jay had walked down. We wasn't with y'all. We walked down to look at the geese, and here come Waylon. He was scooting, boy. I ain't never seen Waylon. I said, "Everything all right?" "No, I don't know yet. He was going. He
came back on the Can-Am.
Yeah.
He said, "We got to go."
He said, "I think I can walk it off." And he walked. He said, "No, I ain't going to walk this one off."
He was ready to get to the truck.
I think what happened is he got past that big cane thicket, and those banks are so steep when you pass that cane thicket, you couldn't step off down in there. You went to the bottom of the ditch. So he had to walk way past the Can-Am to get her at the Can-Am to do anything. Yeah. We got on some level ground. We wasn't out in the open.
Oh, your stomach messed up and waders. That's a bad combination.
It is. I've been running and coming out of them freaking things in my sock feet trying to get to the.
They need a zipper flap on the back.
Yeah. All right, so might as well get to it. Who won the doe contest?
Mikey did. We done talked about it, ain't we?
I thought.
We talked about Ford podcast.
Yeah, we were talking about it before. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So, hang on. We got to divide that by 3.
Yeah.
We got to come up with $43.33 a piece.
All right. That's what we owe Mike.
Yep.
We write it down. 43.33.
That sounds like a lunch a piece and a margarita a piece over at the Mexican place.
I was going to roll some change.
You going to give me the 33?
All pennies.
No.
That's 4 rolls of quarters.
Don't worry. I'm behind dinner next week. I'm going to pay them with them rolled up pennies you give me.
There you go.
Tell them this is how my boss pays me.
Yeah. What the biggest doe ended up weighing?
130?
Yeah, she was just shy of 130.
That's a big doe.
That's stout
for us.
down
That's
there.
a huge doe.
The The other one I killed was 116. She was 129, the biggest one. That's a good size doe. The one Waylon had was bigger than one I killed.
There was one on camera last week that I had to like zoom in. I thought it had to been a buck.
Well, I had to check this one. That's what I was worried about. It come up and I was like, man,
dropped his horns.
And it dropped its head, and I was like, it ain't got no horns on it, no spots on top of its head or nothing. I was like, doggone, that's a doe.
So average for our area, when I was looking it up, was like between 80 and 90 pounds. Yeah. That's an average size grown mature doe. So if you get up over 100, over 120 around there, that's a big doe.
So what we're doing is working.
What was the biggest buck that we weighed?
Weighted? You and Carter only two that killed buck.
Yeah, yours was 198.
Yeah, that's a pretty big buck.
That's a solid freaking deer anywhere.
And that was before they run down though. He was right slap dab in the middle of the
prime.
Yeah,
that's a 200-pound buck is a solid buck. I don't care where you're at.
Yeah,
in the Delta or up here or whatever.
We could have put some fishing weights in it. We broke 200.
Yeah.
Had to catch him when the acres start really dropping.
So we got some products this year that we tried.
We did.
Some we bought, some that were kind of given to us. And out of all the products that we got, it ain't got to be just one, but what are some of them that you're impressed with?
The most impressed with? If I had to say the product that I tried that I'm the most there's two.
Yeah, we ain't got to do just one. We ain't got to do just one. You can do the most, and you can do.
All right, my number one is that Meat Your Maker grinder.
Yeah, I knew that's what you were going to say.
You want to talk about chewing some meat up and get it ready for sausage in the freezer? That thing's bad to the bone. Bad to the bone.
I'm with you on that one, but I've got me and Mark bought these jacket and pair of pants called Habit down at not Sportsman's. Where was it?
Hunter's Hall
in
Oxford, Mississippi.
Highway 6.
And Mark come by with the jacket. Was like, "Did you see this jacket?" And I was like, "No, I didn't see it." I was down there buying Christmas stuff for the kids and picked up the jacket and the pants. Mark got the jacket and the pants, and it's not big and bulky, and that is one of the warmest. Set of clothes.
It ain't really much thicker than
the
jacket you got on now.
Jacket I got on now, and I never got cold, not one time, no matter how cold it was.
What's the inside? Is it lined or unlined?
That Sherpa,
like
whatever.
It's all like wool almost. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's real soft, but it's.
Is it pull over or button up?
It's a zip up.
Full zip.
So I found it because I always have either clothes that are not thick enough or not warm enough or something that is just way overkill. And we're spoiled. We hunting and clothes blind, so you don't have to have a lot, And so I was trying to find something kind of medium to lightweight, something I can wear real easy, comfortable. And I found out, I was like, heck, I'll give this a try. I bought the pants and the jacket both. And then they had a pullover similar to this, but it's the heaviest pullover I've ever seen. I mean, it's got Sherpa line and a pullover just like this one. And then that button-up jacket you got, or that button-up shirt, is the same way. It's a regular like denim button-up shirt, but heck, it's the heaviest denim shirt I've ever seen.
I bought your daddy one for Christmas. He's still wearing it today. He said I wear it every day.
It's a nice shirt.
Have it? Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And it's not. I mean, I think I spent maybe on all of that. I might have spent $200. I mean, it's not cheap, but it ain't just expensive either. It's practical.
Yeah.
Because I bought some camouflage wheel, and I ain't going to say where I bought it at or what brand it is, but it was twice as high as what I bought. And I wore that one time because we wear the same size clothes. It wasn't nothing. It was big and bulky, and, it was warm, but it wasn't nothing like this.
Yeah.
I wear it a good bit, though. I do. I'm glad we got it. That's probably one of my favorites. But
I just hope they keep making it. When I wear it out, I get another set of them.
Mine would probably be, I like the grinder. I like the chamber vac, the Meat Your Maker chamber vac. We're figuring it out and getting better with it. But, man, that bog chair and shooting rest is probably one of the most comfortable chairs I've sat in and hunted out of.
Really?
And as far as able to shoot, I was comfortable in it. We hunted in that bog blind several times, which, matter of fact, I need to go down there and get it out of there and put it back in the shop.
Probably should. No, I'll set that dude up for turkeys.
We're going to move it around for turkeys.
That thing's going to hold a shotgun. Watch.
Oh, we can do it.
What was yours, Jack?
Tool-wise, man, Hooyman saw is pretty freaking bad.
Oh, yeah.
Which one, though? Extension pole saw?
Yeah, so
40-footer.
Yeah. So me and Mark probably voided warranty. So we got two of them. So we took all the extensions and doubled them up on one. That thing, seriously, probably was stretched out 30-something foot.
Well, we had them by South Trump. We had them oak tree limbs, and there was no...
The tractor wasn't... Your bucket and the tractor wouldn't go up high enough.
Well, there's no good safe way to do it. So I was like, well, hey.
That wasn't safe, I'm sure, but...
It was fine. But it looked like I had me about a 50-foot cane pole bowed over with a chainsaw on the end of it. But we got all the limbs out of the way.
I was pretty impressed with that saw.
It did really good because we got that Milwaukee too, and it done as good when I used it as that. Milwaukee
I agree.
did.
I agree.
I ain't gonna say it cuts quite as.
Now the blade and the little thing on the end is a little different than
smaller, more compact.
The Milwaukee's definitely more like tougher, heavier built, I would say, but this one's more compact and it fits.
Well, it's designed for the guys. Yeah,
you throw it in your backpack, go in there. You ain't gonna put that Milwaukee and break it down in a backpack.
Outside of that, and I hunted my climbing stand more this year than I have in a while, and it was pretty cold a couple of days. Santa Claus brought me some Hot Hands body warmers.
Yeah.
And I used them one Saturday morning, and they're a little bit, they're about size phone probably, and I had them in top of my gloves. I used them Saturday morning. Sunday afternoon, before I come to work, Sunday afternoon, went and got stuff out of my truck, and them things are still freaking warm.
Really?
Is it just the shake them up things?
No, you do not shake these. No, these are here to say do not shake. You got adhesive back on it. You just pull the adhesive off, stick it inside your glove or your jacket or whatever, and slide your hand. And no, so you don't. It ain't like the normal shake up kind. But that thing stayed warm from Saturday all the way to Sunday night.
That going.
Yeah, I don't know if it's just a fluke or what. It's the only time I used them, but I was pretty dang impressed with them.
I got another one.
I was going to say, go ahead, go on another one because I got one more.
So y'all, we run game cams. Pretty much year round. I mean, we start, we move them around. We try to see what the deer's doing and everything, and we've tried a bunch of them. We've had decent luck, I would say average luck with the coverts. Now, I'm talking cellular game cams. I've had the ones we've had, I think, I don't know, maybe two. Some of them may be 3 years old, but I think we done cycled through all those. I think they didn't bit the dust. And then I switched to those Tacticams, which were good. For the money, the Tacticam Reveals, or the Reveal X, I think it was they were probably the best until Mark, you bought one. It's this Wild Game Innovation cellular game. And the first year I've seen them, they were around $100.
No, we got them at Walmart. They were on sale, $79.99.
That's right. It comes with the free plan for the first 100 picks. And I'll be daggum if they don't stay. Now, I don't know how many years they're going to last. But you don't sign any kind of contract, 100 pitchers free, and they run off AA batteries.
Yeah.
And they've done just as good as the coverts, which I paid like $3-something for. The Tacticams are like $150, and these were under $100. And I was impressed with the picture quality and how they've worked. And we've had two of them on duck holes.
And the other day,
in the water.
The ice storm hit, and that one camera took 849 pictures one night because the ice limb fell down in front of it.
It kept staying, It
never missed a lick.
And that reminds me, we got to go get those out of the water.
Yeah.
Rice field.
I'm probably going to go down there Friday and start pulling boards on fields and then drag the blinds out of the field and kind of get that rolling.
Yeah, that needs to happen. But then those are going to turn into turkey cams. So that's what we're going to do with ours. I mean, one, we still got our deer cams running, and I'm using them. I mean, I still look at them, but I want to see when the deer start dropping. Like you said something this morning.
I've been watching them every day.
We're still seeing bucks. And once you start seeing deer and you ain't seen any bucks, that means it's time to go shed hunt.
Yeah.
We still got a couple, 2-3 good weeks, I would think.
We do. One of my other ones was that bog freaking tripod.
Yeah.
I set up in that little bird nest. I sat on the ground a couple times this year and killed a deer on the ground with that thing with your 350 Legend. Man, that thing is solid as a friggin' rock. You get that thing set, you ain't got to touch the gun. You just lean up there and reach up there and pull the trigger. Pow.
That's the most stable. Both of those they call the death grip. And one's the tripod and one's on the chair like I was talking about. And that is the most stable shooting rest I've ever shot off of.
Well, it actually clamps your gun too, don't it?
You can turn loose the gun. It'll hold it.
That got me thinking, what's the coolest thing that y'all saw this year that's new to you?
That we have, or we just seen?
Oh, well, we just.
Thermal.
That's what I was getting at.
As far as
Pulsar thermals some bad stuff.
Now that you got yours back, I'm anxious to see.
Yeah. Miles, what I was thinking about the one Miles had on his hog gun.
It's pretty impressive.
God, he's got I think it's a Tiburon. I think that's what it's called, the Pulsar. Thermion. Yeah, Thermion. And it's a.
Thermion Pro, Thermion Pro 2 or something.
Something like that. But man, you talk about a bad dude.
I seen a
coyote hunting with that bog rest.
Yeah.
Or hog. You could be out there at night seeing those things come in. Even during the day, you can see, something coming with them, where you might not see it with your eyes if they blend in.
Something that I think too we've got way more comfortable with this year, and we talked about it last year, was these dang 350 Legends.
Oh,
yeah.
Did we have that last year?
No,
I had one.
Yeah, Mark got one.
Me and you had them last year.
Did we? I can't remember I shot one with one last year.
I mean, we killed them with them last year, but we didn't really have a lot of time with them, and we spent more time shooting them this year, and
that's definitely on my.
That's all I hunted with.
New product list.
I hunted with first few weekends. I hunted with my bolt action gun, and then after that, that's all I toted, and never had one take a step.
I mean, really, other than Hilltop, and Plantation, which Plantation, unless it's at the end of the field, you're under 200 yards. But really, almost everywhere we got that gun's
you
capable.
can hunt with it. Yeah.
I think
power line will be a little bit of stretch on some of the shots, but
because that's what that's why I didn't
realize. Yeah, Mike got told me I didn't realize how it was.
At the bottom of that hill, and I wasn't comfortable shooting down that far.
Especially if you ain't shot the gun.
Yeah,
it's better than that shot.
But I could hold it on that deer with that bog rest though.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I leaned up on
compensate.
It wasn't no trouble, and and then I realized like, man, that deer's a lot further than I really think it is. I'm not firing this gun down through there.
But that was definitely one that we got more comfortable with, and it was a good addition to the gun cabinet for sure.
No doubt. And we probably beat that to death this year talking about it, but it's a fine rifle, especially if you got kids or something like that. Low recoil, almost no recoil whatsoever, and it performs.
So I don't know what I want to turn, what I want to make my coyote gun. That's my question. Do I want to build it on a 350 with a suppressor, thermal scope, or do I want to put it on a 308? What would y'all's advice be?
I'm gonna do 350.
I do 308.
It's too heavy. I don't want jack with AR-10.
I agree. It is heavy.
I was going to put it on my Tika. Let's see.
Oh, like a bolt action gun.
Yeah.
See, I'm thinking converting the 350 and letting it be, because it's a beater gun. I ain't worried about it. If I drop it in the mud, whatever, I'm not worried about it. And two,
if I got a $10,000 scope on it, I ain't dropping it in the mud.
Well, I'm saying,
and a $2,000 suppressor.
I would do it on a bolt or on the AR platform, me personally, because then you're going to use it for hog hunting too.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to shoot a hog 223. We done seen what that does not do.
Yeah. All the guys I've been around hog hunting, 30-30, 350 Legend, that new 450 Bushmaster. Bushmaster. That's what they're going to.
What are they shooting the coyotes?
Some of them over there was using
223s.
That 300 blackout with suppressor on it. But I'm like, the only negative side I see to that is a coyote might be more than 200 yards.
That's why I'm thinking 308.
Yeah. That's my theory on it. Yeah. And then, I don't know.
If you're hunting at our place, maybe not. I mean, you just...
Yeah, that's true.
It'd be no different deer.
Yeah.
So, I mean, if you take the 350 Legend there and...
You're down the Delta, like where our duck hole's at, heck, you can shoot as far as you want to down there, know?
If we went somewhere like that, maybe, I'd probably put it on a 308 or high-powered rifle.
So I wouldn't worry about it. I mean, 300 yards, I'd shoot a coyote with it. I ain't worried about the coyote. If I hit it, cripple, whatever, I don't care. That's one less coyote. I have no mercy on that. So
I think for me, it's just like it's harder to. You got to range with that 350 Legend. You do have to range it.
Yeah, you got to know.
That's a harder range at night than it is. Like say if you're shooting a 308, you ain't adjusting too much in 150 to 300 yards. I mean, there's some adjustment. But
let's just get a couple of pulsars. Be all right.
Me too. Some of those guys hunt with 2 and 3 of them. Have you seen the videos of them? They're set up on like bog tripods, and
they
don't touch the gun.
They did show a video yesterday I seen where it was talking about the thermals, and they had the pulsar, then they had like I don't know what cheap name brand it was, and it was 3 coyotes coming across the field, and they was looking through the cheaper one, and they looked like coyotes. He pulled the pulsar over, and it was 2 labs and a German Shepherd.
Oh, really?
It wasn't coyotes, and you could tell the difference in the pulsar.
See, that's the
even with my handheld, it's clear. I mean, the first one I got, I had a little trouble with.
That's what our buddy John out there at their place, guy, like, I ain't spending that much money on thermal. They got out there at night at their cabin, got looking, and he's like, you can see something out there, but you get the one John had, you could sell it.
You could tell what it was.
It was a coyote or it was a doe or whatever, but thermals is.
He's using.
We just need to go do that again.
Man, that's fun.
I'm still hooked. I want the drone. That's my.
That's the coolest thing you saw the year.
I'm hooked
drone.
on that.
I got to follow back up with him. I ain't heard back from him, so.
I actually got a buddy that bought one of them. It don't have the 200 power camera on it, but it's pretty much the exact same drone that guy's got.
So what we been cooking at camp, guys?
Well, that last weekend we kind of did it up.
We did.
Might have been the best breakfast that we've had.
I would say it was. Jamie missed out on the best. Yeah. That's what my next question. If we get done talking about what we cooked this weekend, I want to know what y'all's favorite best was.
I'm going ahead and saying it. The shrimp and grits that we had for breakfast that last Saturday of last weekend.
I'm talking about best meal period, not just breakfast.
I'm just saying that was the best breakfast we had. Meal, I don't know. That's tough.
That's a tough one. So last weekend we done some videos for the Buck Junkies, and then we just rolled right into our last weekend of hunting season, and we never quit cooking, I don't think.
No, we cooked all day.
I know y'all done the summer sausage, and we've talked about that, and y'all done breakfast sausage too that day.
Yeah.
Breakfast sausage was
real good.
That was probably some of the best deer breakfast sausage I've had.
Because I mean I've gotten breakfast sausage from, other people. Yeah, different people, and it's bone dry, man. You cook it, it's not very good. And ours had the right ratio, right seasoning. It was perfect.
Other than we know it was deer sausage, you couldn't tell.
No,
I don't think you could.
But that McNary County pork fat mixed with it.
Good stuff.
And y'all,
ratio.
I think, did y'all add any sage or just use your sausage
straight season out of the package?
Yep. It had a good sage, peppery taste to it. It was a real good sausage.
But we done that, and then I done a deer tenderloin sandwich, that's a good one too.
That was the best sandwich I had in a while. How'd you do that? You pounded it out?
So we probably gonna get some hate for this because I took 2 beautiful deer tenderloins. And I'm making a sandwich with them, and it was so good.
That was real good.
But I halved them. We had 2 tenderloins. I halved them, took a meat mallet, whooped them out flat, and kind of made them as round as possible and just paper thin. Run it through a wash, battered it, fried it, and done country fried
deer tenderloin,
brioche bun, mayonnaise, pickle onion. It was a mighty fine.
So did it make 4 sandwiches?
Yeah, out of 2 tenderloins.
That's not bad.
That was a big sandwich.
Yeah,
it was.
I halved them, and it fed all of us down there. It fed 8 folks. And it was a good bite. And it was just something different to do with deer meat. I mean, everybody wraps it in bacon or does this, does that. It was just a different take on it.
Nothing wrong with that, man.
No.
It would have been good with like mashed potatoes and gravy, macaroni and cheese.
Yep. Do it up.
Yeah. Just like eating country fried steak.
Jamie, what'd you cook?
Man, I kind of copied Malcolm's original sausage ball recipe, and I do them all the time. And I usually do Frank's Red Hot or, what's the other?
Sweet Thai chili.
Yeah, do it, and then our
Captain.
Yeah, Captain Rodney's whatever dipped it in, and Malcolm said something about doing it with the syrup. And man, that was pretty daggum good. I have to admit.
For breakfast, man, that's how we eat sausage balls. You talk about, man, I'll take them to the deer stand.
Oh, they're good.
They're real good. And some aluminum
hot
foil.
Sausage, some jalapenos in it.
Put them on top of your buddy heater.
Warm them up.
Good to go.
Man, where you got them smuggled at? I ain't never got none in my deer stand.
That's the day you don't. That's the day you don't get invited to hunt with him.
That's some Sundays. Y'all done went home.
Or we're up here working.
Yeah, probably up here working.
Keeping the lights on.
But then we had that. We done gumbo Friday night.
We put a whooping on some gumbo, man.
We cooked this gumbo for
it wasn't that
6 hours.
Gumbo is a labor of love. I ain't doing the box kind. Like
no.
I'll give y'all a run for money with the box. Now.
I'm with you, Jamie.
No, I'd much rather do it.
No way that box could come close to the gumbo.
I don't know.
Heck yeah.
No,
it's a hell of a lot better than standing. I wore out 2 arms stirring that roux.
Mikey did a 12-pack roux.
Yeah.
It wasn't a 2-beer roux.
You was tuned in by the time you were starting on that roux.
That's what makes a good gumbo, man. It gets better the more beer you drink making a roux.
And then y'all got to arguing over the damn potato salad.
No, wasn't no arguing. We just had Chrissy pants over here.
That was I took that potato salad home. You know what Shell said? Who made that potato salad? That's some of the best. And I said, well, I coached Mark through it. He said he didn't trust me.
You could see his ears. They're a little red. And I videoed a little bit of it.
You can't. If Malcolm says, hey, you want to fix this potato salad? Just tell him no. Just said, hell no, you fix it. It's because he's going to lean over your shoulder. You ain't stirring it right. You got to go clockwise. Use the other spoon.
Cut the potatoes up too small.
What are you putting that in there for? I didn't tell you to do that.
They were right.
But no, the gumbo was. So why did we make potato salad?
Because if you've never had gumbo with potato salad.
Now, have you ever had it until then?
No. And it was awesome.
It is good. I told my wife that. She thought I was crazy, but it is good.
No, it's not better.
It's good.
Because we had a taste off.
Neither one of them's better than the other. They're both dang good, but it's just 2 different It's almost you had two different complete meals.
It changes a gumbo.
See, I done my box gumbo a couple of weeks ago, and I done rice in it, and then and leftovers.
It comes with the rice.
Yeah, it comes with the rice already.
And a
in
little
the box.
dried up shrimp.
Yeah. No, you did have to add shrimp.
Bait shrimp.
Yeah, the bait shrimp dried up in it.
You got to soak in for
rehydrate.
What'd you do, Jeff? You made some more?
Yeah, I got it out of the box. And anyway, the next night we had some left over. My wife made potato salad, so I had rice and potato salad.
Hey,
it was money.
Nothing
it was
wrong
good.
with that.
Look, Malcolm makes fun of y'all's box gumbo. Go down there and throw his rice cooker in the garbage.
Hey, that rice cooker will flat cook some rice.
We waited on rice for 3 hours that night too.
Man.
Y'all you just drank too much whiskey that day. You was in a bad rush or something.
So y'all doing all this stuff. I done turned my box on, cooked it, and ate.
Yeah,
I'm watching TV.
You're giving that box back.
Yeah.
You done recycled it.
But we did cook that gumbo longer. We just kept adding to it and
Simmered it down.
and
Scratch
it right.
gumbo.
Yeah.
man, we added shrimp. We had chicken, sausage. Did you do crawfish tails in it too?
Crawfish tails.
Crawfish tails. It was one of the more involved gumbos that we've cooked all year, and it was probably the best. It was good.
It was good. Real good.
I was 200 miles away, but I ate good that weekend too.
What'd you eat?
It was in Arkansas. My buddy Brad got a roast and cooked it the night before, and done like we did up Colorado. We had a griddle on side by side and done like beef tacos and chicken tacos out on the trail. Man, it was a very, very, very good meal.
You still miss the shrimp and grits though.
I did.
Yeah. Shrimp and grits was hands down. That was the one that was the breakfast of champions.
I can't say nothing because it took me about 3 hours to make shrimp and grits.
It was the longest shrimp and grits.
Mike, they got shrimp and grits in a box.
Yeah, they got shrimp and grits in the box.
This wasn't your normal shrimp and grits though.
we sell some out the store, that a la carte Alice.
Yeah.
Shrimp and grits.
Well, why you took so much time? Hell, it's a 5-minute box out
That's
there in
right.
the shop.
I guarantee it wasn't that good.
We need to have that. Needs to be one of our next ones. If I finish last on one of these contests, we're having a gumbo contest at the office.
Game on. Me and Jamie's boxing it
I know
up.
y'all are already. Do y'all use Zatarain's or do you use
Louisiana?
Yeah, Louisiana.
Some old freeze dried shrimp.
Yeah. Or Tony Chaucerets, or however you say it, has one too.
Yeah,
Pretty good.
they all
Oh
got
man
one.
on the box.
I prefer Louisiana though.
Yeah, it is.
It's
Good
roux in
stuff
a
like
bag is what I use. It ain't the whole kit. It's just a
You
powder
just don't
based.
have the dried up
that.
okra. in
Mikey's
it.
one step ahead of me
It's a
on that.
powder based roux. It's a
Yeah.
dehydrated roux is what it is. It keeps you from having to make the roux. All it does.
Yeah.
The only reason I like making a roux is because you can control. You change so much from a light roux to a dark roux.
Oh, the flavor is what it does to your gumbo.
And when you don't make a roux, you're pretty much stuck with.
And you ain't changing the color of one of those
No.
box roux. It's just what it is.
It does take longer, but like Emily don't like a real strong roux. So a lot of times when I cook gumbo and like she's having or wanting it, like I'll do almost just a blonde, and it's still a gumbo, but it's dang good. It's just a different flavor.
Man, I'm gonna have to break out the box.
That's it. That's it. We're doing that contest. It might just
Well,
be
me
us
and you
four.
win first and second place.
We'll do 4 gumbos and,
See,
be blind judging from everybody else
Yeah.
at work.
We might be screwing up because Jamie ain't never not finished in the top 3.
Yeah. Oh, his is going to be 2 or 3.
Jamie always talks about he can't cook and he don't know the recipe, but he ain't never not finished in the top 3.
Gotta use the box, Malcolm.
Just use the box.
Kinda like,
Trust the box.
yeah, got to swallow your pride. Use
Trust
the box.
So what was your favorite thing about the shrimp and grits then?
Ooh, I don't know.
Like, because when you saw me make it, you were like, that's going to clash.
Were they
Mine was
cheesy
sauce.
grits or just regular grits?
Because I ate it
It
with
was
just the
cheese grits.
sauce
Yeah,
out of the
I can do
pan
cheesy.
Yeah.
with the grits, and it was I like
I
that.
think it was the sauce. Yeah.
That lime
you
and
did
butter.
with the shrimp.
Yeah. So these shrimp and grits was not your standard shrimp and grits. These were a breakfast style grits or shrimp and grits that I actually had at a Big Bad Breakfast. Is who inspired this recipe. It's basically cheese grits, and they do like andouille sausage. Of course, you got your shrimp, but they do a red eye gravy and then an egg over easy on top. And I kind of took it an extra step. Took like basically canned tomatoes and made a sauce with it, and then turned around and had basically your vinegar sauce and butter on the shrimp. And it just worked. I mean, it all come together, sprinkling little chives over the top of it. And it was a fine meal. It is the best breakfast we had
Oh,
down
yeah.
there.
Hands down.
We will do that again.
No, that was a good one. The egg with the egg, I mean, every element of it was different, and then it all come together in one bowl. And those were just quick. They're supposed to be like quick 5-minute grits.
We learned something about 5-minute
Yeah.
grits.
They don't do it in 5 minutes, does
Yeah.
it?
They'll make grits in 5 minutes, but you better let them sit about 30 and then they get right.
Oh, after they sit for a minute and thickened up, that was the ticket. Whooped in with the cheese, a little bit of cream, wasn't it?
Lunchtime too.
Yeah, I got some old minute rice back there with some dried chicken in it. I'm finna have to go eat.
Well, Mark, that's gonna do it for today at Buck Junkie, guys. Y'all want to take us out?
Yeah. So y'all check us out on all the podcast platforms. You know, we're trying to get as much content as we can. We got some stuff that should be coming out the next few weeks. Of course, always check out buckjunkie.com. You can see the apparel we have. We're going to try to get some new products on that this spring. And if y'all got anything, let us know. And any content y'all want to see, shoot us a message.
Anything else, guys, y'all want to add?
Nope.
Good to go?
Hate deer season's over.
All right, hate deer season's over. Let's go get ready for shed hunting and turkey hunting, right?
That's it.
All right, we'll see y'all next week. We gone.